Got nothing to write about? Here are 50 story ideas that you can steal and use straight away. By the way, if you're new here, hi, I'm Katri, I'm your new best friend, and this is Protagonist Crafts, the place for people who are kind of obsessed with that whole writing thing. Make your character learn something that you had to learn the hard way. Take a story that a relative or a family member has told you a million times and fatten it up. Think of something that you've been told but that you didn't believe, maybe that story that your uncle keeps telling every Christmas, and make it even more incredible and still true. Take a famous person from your hometown and make it your protagonist. We've got this guy who every single summer, without fail, rollerblades around town in very skimpy clothing. And yes, he's already got great main character energy, but now he can be the real main character. Go on Wikipedia and find a historical figure that you'd never heard of and make them your main character. If you don't want to fall into the Wikipedia rabbit hole, may I suggest Dmitry Mendeleev or Catherine Jagiellon? Think of a board game and turn it into a story. Think of folklore you know, or find some if you don't know any, and place it in the modern world. Find an interesting painting and make it the first scene of your story. Look at the word of the day on the Merriam-Webster website and make that the title of your story. Alternatively, go on Spotify and put your most recent playlist on shuffle and use the title of the first song that comes out as the title of your story. Or take your random song, read the lyrics and turn it into your story. Unless, of course, your random song is Wuthering Heights by Kate Bush because, well, yeah. Ask a friend what to write about. Ask me what to write about. And by that I mean leave a comment requesting a story idea and I will give you one. All I want in return is your undying love. Find an interesting old grave, in the graveyard hopefully, and write about the person who's, dead. The owner of the group. Just write. Take a fairy tale that you know and put it in a surprising genre. Cinderella in space? A Western Hansel and Gretel? You can do it. Ask someone about a recurring dream they have and turn that into a story. Just don't ask me, because most of my recurring dreams are about using the bathroom in weird places and let's not. Take a single plot event from a single episode of a TV show and turn that into the premise of your story. Make your wildest dreams come true for your main character, or make your worst nightmare come true for your character. Think of a story that doesn't quite get it right and then make it right. Get the free story idea workbook that turns all your favorite things into story ideas that you can finally start working on. Get the link in the description. Write from the point of view of your favorite animal. Maybe this one. Take a location from your favorite TV show or movie and place your story there. Is it Stars Hello? It is, isn't it? Your least favorite things about yourself? Give those things to your character. Suffer together, it's bonding. Go to an antique store or talk to a relative who owns a bunch of old photos and pick a picture where you don't know who the people are and then write a story about them. Here's a picture from my father's collection that you can use. Think of a boring and predictable story that you already know and turn everything upside down. Think of this very moments in time. I don't know what I'm doing here. Pick this moments in time as if you are in a story. Pick a genre and then think of what would the readers expect to happen next. Start writing, except do the opposite. Insert yourself into a video game that you love, something other than The Sims, hopefully, and then change the names of, everyone and the places, unless you want to be writing fan fiction. And then think of how would you being there change the world and change the events? Start writing. Put away all the distractions, entertainments and contents and go stare at a wall. Whichever idea first comes into your head, you have to use it. Alternatively, just go on social media and look for the first post that comes up on your feed. That is your story idea. Is it a tutorial on how to make a wedding cake out of cottage cheese and cauliflower? Doesn't matter, that's your story idea now. Pick an institution that no longer exists, like a Victorian workhouse, and then use that as the setting of your story. Think of a fond childhood memory and give it a supernatural explanation. Here's a dialogue prompt for you. Of course it's wrong, but if we do nothing now, the lions will be free. And here's an opening line for your story. My mother had knocked on my door every single morning after her funeral. Do you know what's your nearest castle? Whether that's very near or very far, write about the people who used to live there. Take a historical event that they told you about a lot in school and write about people who lived at the same time but who weren't affected by it. If the event is World War II, this might be quite difficult, but Maybe the people live on the moon. Write about someone doing something that you would never do. Think of something you probably take for granted, like electricity, the internet, or sunlight, and write about the whole world having to go without it for 72 hours. Think of the most beautiful thing that you know about, and put it in a story world where it's considered hideous. What's your dream job? What's your favorite supernatural creature? Give that job to that creature, and now you've got your main character. Mine would be ghost author, which is very different from a ghost writer. Regardless of what the tech bros who have never read an actual novel say, you can't be replaced by AI. Your mom can be, though. Wait, isn't that like the reverse of the movie Artificial Intelligence? Well, whatever, that is your story idea anyway. Write a story where you need to include these words: thriving, chamber pot, salacious, merry-go-round. Go on Wikipedia, which, by the way, if you haven't figured it out yet, is a fantastic way to find writing inspiration, and click the random article button until you come across something that you can use in your story. Perhaps you'll be clicking it so much that your brain just spontaneously gives you a better story idea. You're welcome. Since you're still on Wikipedia, go and find someone who died just a few days before you were born, or who was born the exact same day as you were, and then write about how all that is connected. By the way, when I was looking for people who were born on October 26th, 1988, write that down because it's my birthday. The dumbass AI overview had to say this: individuals born on these dates are described as having a unique blend of depth, determination, and charisma, driven by their natural magnetism and a strong sense of purpose. Yeah, obviously. If you can't find any interesting people who were born on the same day as you were, or who had to die just so that you could be born, find an interesting event that happened exactly 100 years before your year of birth, and then write about how your birth and that events are totally connected. And no, this isn't a school essay. It doesn't have to be true. It doesn't have to make sense. You're writing fiction here. You're in the business of making things up. So make things up. It's totally connected. You can make it so. What could only happen to someone called Max Steel, Lily Meadows, or Grim Stonewall? Go and write about it. Your childhood best friend has been a space alien all this time, but you were just too polite to point it out that it was kind of obvious. You're now, however, giving an impromptu speech at their wedding. How does it go? Here's a random line for your story. The problem with poisons is that some of them are delicious. And finally, the sound of the ocean's waves is older than anything or anyone you know. Write about the first person to have heard it. Hopefully at least one of these 50 ideas was usable for you, and again, don't hesitate to leave me a comment asking for your own tailor-made story idea, and feel free to, give a preferred genre as well. Or just go and get the story idea workbook so that you don't have to talk to anyone, whatever. And I'll see you in another video, or perhaps at the What If You Wrote podcast.